HCAM News is supported by our viewers and by Hopkinton Drug, located in this historic New England town since 1954. They are a multifaceted store dedicated to providing clients with an array of healthcare options.
Hopkinton High School has announced the hiring of Matt Anderson as the new varsity baseball coach for the Hopkinton Hillers. Matt Anderson will certainly have huge shoes to fill, taking over for Hall of Fame coach Steven Simos, but Matt does have a great experience and a resume and is very familiar with the Hillers program. New coach Matt Anderson graduated Hopkinton High School in 2001 and played a big role in the TVL title-winning Hiller baseball team during that 2001 season. He was team captain that year and named co-MVP in the TVL championship. Matt also was named a Metro West Daily News first-team All-Star and a TVL first-team All-Star. Matt also played Ashland Legion baseball as well as in college and has plenty of coaching experience with the Northeast Longhorns AAU program as well as a couple other AAU programs. He also served as the varsity assistant baseball coach from 2009 to 2011 with Holliston High School, and prior to that as the Holliston JV head baseball coach. This past baseball season, in addition to serving as pitching coach for the Hopkinton Hillers program, Coach Johnson continued his work with the Northeast Longhorns AAU program and is the owner and head instructor at the Anderson Baseball Academy. With a great resume of experience, it seems that Hiller baseball has been left in very good hands. Welcome to Hillers varsity head coach Matt Anderson. Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's edition of HCAM News. I'm HCAM News Director Tom Nappy, here to fill you in with the latest happenings in Hopkinton. On today's edition of HCAM News, we talk with new Hopkinton Hillers Athletic Director Kiley Murray. Book author Peter Zheutlin joins us to talk about his upcoming appearance at the Hopkinton Public Library, courtesy of the Hopkinton Women's Club, plus much more. But first, Hiller Girls Volleyball is coming off a state championship season and getting ready for this coming fall and hoping to repeat with a new coach at the helm. Hopkinton Hillers Girls Varsity Volleyball is fresh off an undefeated state championship season. The Hillers finished 25-0 last year and took down Westboro in the Division II state championship, and what would be the last season for head coach Margie Grabmeyer. This season, 2011 Hopkinton alum Emily Sweetapple takes the helm. Emily was an assistant coach with the Hiller Girls for the last 11 seasons.
All right, Coach, congratulations on taking over for Coach Grabmeyer. The team certainly left in very good hands.
Thank you.
Can you talk about this year's squad and some of the things that you've been working on here in these early practices?
Yeah, so we've got 15 girls on our team this season. It's a very young team. We've got 5 sophomores and 5 juniors and then 5 seniors. So definitely doing some rebuilding this year. We graduated 8 seniors, obviously. So first practices, we're really focusing on communication, team building, getting comfortable being in this new role, myself and also all of the young players that are new to this team. So, lots of offense, defensive work, but mainly focusing on being a team and getting in that groove.
Yeah, and I'd say you got 3 very good captains this year. Can you talk about the captains?
Yes, yeah. So all 3 are returning varsity players. They're all seniors. I've had the pleasure of coaching all 3 of them when I was coaching sub-varsity, so it's pretty great to be coaching them again. Very strong leaders, very positive people that I know will lead this team through a great season.
Right, and pretty tough schedule this year. Is there any opponent that you're looking most forward to?
Lots of tough opponents. Definitely Barnstable. They're always a big one for us. Westwood always provides great competition, as does Medway. Looking ahead to other competitors in the TVL, Ashland, Medfield, but we've got a lot of great out-of-league competition as well, Algonquin, Lincoln Sudbury. A lot of tough competition that'll just hopefully make us stronger.
Do you have Westboro?
We have a scrimmage against Westboro on Thursday, so that'll be a great way to kick off the season and see them again after the state championship back in November.
Well, perhaps we'll see you in the state championship again this year.
That would be amazing.
8 players graduated after last season's state championship win, but 6 players returned, and 3 of those returning players were voted in by their fellow teammates as this year's captains.
I'm Emily Graber, and I'm an outside hitter.
Abby Hardenbrook, right side. I'm Annabelle Sensony, and I'm an outside hitter. It's really good. It's really fun. I feel like our team is starting to bond more, and our practices have been really fun.
I really love getting to have Emma as my coach for my last season, just because she was such a great coach on JV, and so it's so awesome to have a full circle ending to our senior year.
I love Emma so much. There she is walking by. She's honestly such a great coach, the sweetest ever, and our team is starting to come together, and it's really exciting for all of us.
So you'd like to improve on in your personal game?
Yeah, well, obviously last season is hard to compare to, but I don't know, just keep winning as a team, playing together the best we can.
What about you? Any goals for the season?
I don't know. Again, it's just everyone just wants to do better than they did last season. So definitely just, making sure that you stay you become a better player, but also a better teammate, and that is really important to us.
Last year, our team was super close. We were a family, and I would want that again this year. So we can the Barnstable tournament. We're going that next weekend, so hopefully we can all connect and have fun.
Can any of you tell us about some of the younger players on the team that made the varsity squad last year? How do they look?
They're really good, actually. We have a lot of sophomores on the team. It's a pretty young team, but they're very good.
Yeah, it's so exciting to have so many first-year varsity players, just because they're so excited and everyone works so hard at practices, and it's really exciting to kind of have a fresh, clean slate and so much young talent, because I feel good to know that when I'm leaving that the team's in really good hands.
Yeah, we also have 2 new players this year that moved from different schools, and they both are very impressive players, so that's really exciting for all of us. As well as we do have one returner that is younger than the rest of us, and she's always been a great player.
Be on the lookout for Hopkinton Hillers Girls Varsity Volleyball home games airing live all season long on HCAM. Hello, everybody. Tom Nappy here, and we are joined by Peter Zheutlin. Peter, how are you?
Good. How are you, Tom?
Doing well. Can't complain. Fall is coming, and the weather is still beautiful, so that's a good sign, and we finally got some rain, so that's certainly nice. But I understand you're going to be at the Hopkinton Women's Club monthly meeting. But before we get into that, why don't you just tell us about yourself and tell us about what you do.
Well, I'm a lapsed lawyer, and like many lapsed lawyers, I became a writer at some point in my adult life, and I've written, I guess, 9 books now, and I do some freelance journalism. And the talk I'm giving to the Women's Club focuses on my first and my last book, which covered the same subject. First one was nonfiction, and the last one was a novel based on that story.
Terrific. So how'd you end up getting involved with the Hopkinton Women's Club?
I'm not quite sure how they found me. People do have a way of finding you when you're an author and you've written something they're interested in. And as we'll get into, what I'm going to talk about is the story of an extraordinary woman at the turn of the 20th century who did a very radical thing. And women tend to find this story pretty engaging.
Excellent. So how long have you been writing for, and how many books do you have in total?
Oh my God. So nine books altogether. I started writing, oh my goodness, probably 25 years ago. Did a lot of freelance writing for the Boston Globe and Christian Science Monitor and some other newspapers and magazines. And my first book was published in 2007. And got about a book every other year since then.
So can you tell us what inspired the story that you're going to talk about? Around the World on Two Wheels is one of the books, and then Spin is the other book. Let's start off with Around the World on Two Wheels. Tell us about that story.
Same basic story, but in the early 1990s, my mother received a letter from a complete stranger telling her that he was researching the story of the first woman to go around the world on a bicycle. And he had done some genealogy research and suspected that my mother might be related to this woman in some way. My mother shared the letter with me. She had never heard of this woman, but it was clear from the information in the letter that he had actually found the right family. He had, we were in fact connected pretty directly to the woman that he was researching, but it was not a story that was known at all to my own family. And I got back to him on my mother's behalf and told him it sounded like an amazing story, but unfortunately we weren't able to help him because we had never heard of her. And I have my suspicions as to why that might be the case. But nevertheless, about 10 years later, the same gentleman wrote to me again, asking if we had learned anything in the 10 years, and we hadn't. And I had occasionally asked family members, older, grandparents, great aunts and uncles, complete blank, nothing on the internet about her. And 10 years later, in 2003, my interest was piqued sufficiently to dive in and see what I could find. I didn't think I'd find anything, but 4 years of intensive research allowed me to uncover an enormous amount of detail about this extraordinary woman who did something extraordinarily radical in the 1890s.
And that story kind of continues in Spin, if I'm correct?
Well, the first book, Around the World on Two Wheels, was my attempt to sort of establish the historical record of this journey, which had been lost to history for over a century. And that was a nonfiction account. It was sort of a, just the facts, ma'am account. A couple of years ago, the New York Times did what they call an overlooked obituary. They've been doing a series of obituaries in the Times about women and people of color who, in retrospect, the Times think were overlooked and didn't get an obituary they might have deserved, which is quite an honor in the New York Times. And they did an obituary about my ancestor. And my wife, who's very involved in the book club world, basically told me I had to revisit the story as a work of historical fiction, because so many people like to read historical fiction, and I had already done the research. So Spin, which came out just last year, I revisit that story, but I throw a lot of my own imagination into it, fill out the record, as it were. And since my great-grandaunt was quite a storyteller and quite a spin artist herself, I felt quite liberated to even layer my own imagination on top of hers. So what you get in Spin is truly anchored in a historical, set of historical facts, but with a fair amount of creativity thrown in. So the two books cover the same territory, but one is nonfiction and one is fiction.
Well, it sounds like very interesting, terrific stories. And you'll be with the Hopkinton Women's Club on September 19th for their monthly meeting. Where could people find more about you that want to learn a little bit more?
I have two websites. If you're interested in the story, my ancestor, by the way, rode under an assumed name when she traveled the world by bicycle, and it was Annie Londonderry, because she had a corporate sponsor, the Londonderry Spring Water Company of Nashua, New Hampshire. She was a pioneer of sports-related marketing. So you can go to annielondonderry.com, and you'll find a lot more information about her and about the books. I also have an author website, which is my name, Peter Zheutlin, ZHEUTLIN.com, and you can see information about my other books too.
Well, Peter, we look forward to hearing you talk at the Hopkinton Women's Club monthly meeting, and thank you so much for taking some time to talk with us today.
Next time, I appreciate it and look forward to seeing everyone there.
We are going to take a quick time out. A whole lot more HCAM news ahead. Don't go anywhere. HCAM programming is supported by our viewers, thank you, and by Phipps Insurance Agency, representing companies such as MapFree Insurance. Their family-owned independent agency is deeply rooted in the communities they serve and offer time-tested insurance products to fit individual needs. Since 1950, Phipps Insurance specializes in home, auto, business, condo, and renters insurance.
To help students get to school on time, the town is limiting downtown construction to 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily. We ask elementary parents to use our school buses. They can accommodate over 2,000 students in grades K to 6 who are eligible to ride for free. These students could keep 1,000 parent-driven cars off the roads. And if a school bus is late, those students are not marked tardy. Using our buses will help mitigate traffic and get children to school on time.
Hello, everybody. Tom Nappy here, and we are joined by the Hopkinton Hillers interim athletic director, Kiley Murray. Kiley, how are you?
Doing great, Tom. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. Congratulations on the new role as this year's athletic director. And you've certainly been around the Hopkinton system, so you have a familiar face to most people out there, but for those that don't know, why don't you just talk about your history a little bit in coaching and with the Hopkinton Hillers program?
Absolutely. So I came to Hopkinton. Well, let me start. I grew up in the other H-town next door. So I'm from Holliston. I started counseling over at Westboro High School, stopped at Ashland, and then landed in Hopkinton in January 2010. So I've been in Hopkinton for a while as a school counselor, club advisor, all that stuff. With Hiller Athletics, right when I got here, Coach Simos got me to coach some softball with him. So I started a part of that program. Over the years, I've worked with a couple different teams and coaches on odds and ends, but most recently I've been an assistant coach with the baseball program. During my time at Hopkinton, I've been a coach over at Westboro with volleyball. So been in and out of the sports here for a long time.
Now with the athletic director position, you still going to be able to coach Westboro?
No, I'm not, and I'm okay. They're good with it. I got over to the summer camp and kind of said my goodbyes and good lucks. And the great news is that Westboro Rangers and the Hopkinton Hiller volleyball programs are an awesome rivalry, friendly. They scrimmage preseason. Often we've been meeting in the postseason. So it's fun, a lot of little jabs here and there, but all well wishes. And as I said in my intro to parents, I thoroughly bleed green now, even though there's a couple communities that might not like to hear that.
Well, it was quite the meeting in the state championship last year.
Tough. It's kind of a lose-lose for me, to be honest with you. It was a tough day for coaching. I was incredibly happy for one squad and really sad for the other, proud of both of them. It was a really fun run. We knew for a while that the only way we would meet would be at the big show, as they say. So it was a unique experience all around.
I couldn't think of a better way for Margie to go out, though, after her tremendous career.
Yeah, it was fantastic and really exciting. I've been working with our new coach this week and in the off season, really excited for their future as well. Margie did incredible. And I think Emma's gonna make it her own and keep a great tradition going too.
Absolutely. We're certainly looking forward to the season. So you're getting into the practices now. The schedules are pretty much all made and out there. How's it been? I'm guessing things have gotten pretty busy for you.
It's been a busy past week or so. Our football and cheer started last Friday with everyone else joining, all the other high school programs starting this Monday, and middle school football. We'll have another wave of start next week with our middle school. It's been great. I mean, kind of Murphy's Law that we have our burnt out fields, and then the first couple days of tryouts are rain and thunderstorms. So been dealing a little bit with the heat and thunderstorms. Our coaches have been awesome. Our athletic trainer, Amanda, has done an awesome job keeping our kids safe. So it's been busy, and we've been navigating some challenges. So far, so good. Yeah, but it's great to have the kids back in the building. It's a whole different energy. It's awesome.
Absolutely. And it doesn't seem like there'll be too many COVID restrictions going into this year.
I mean, I'm going to knock on everything in this place.
Yes.
It would. As of right now, yeah, we still have, return to play, and we're waiting on updates for that. And of course, we're here and there, kids are still not feeling well and making the decision to stay home and be safe with it. But yeah, no masks around here unless people want to, which I do have a couple, but I'm not having to monitor COVID stuff, which is a gift.
So it was certainly unfortunate to see Rich go. He did a great job in the athletic director role. Did he show you all the ins and outs before he left?
He showed me some, and I was texting him as recently as last night, just like, dude, how do I turn on this?
Dincheck wrapped up a terrific summer of the Hopkinton Parks and Recreation Commission Concerts on the Common series. Here's a look at the performance. couple happenings in town you should know about on Saturday, September 17th. Come down to the Hopkinton Town Common for the Hopkinton Health Department's second annual Community Health Fair. There'll be all kinds of family fun on Saturday, September 17th at the Hopkinton Town Common. The health fair goes from 11 a.m. until 3 p.m. There is currently a critical drought status. We did get some rain recently, so we are hoping that we'll be out of the drought status very soon. But currently, no lawn watering is permitted. To see if there's been any updates, you could head over to hopkintonma.gov or head over to the Hopkinton DPW website. Our picture of the week. Dincheck performs to close out the 2022 Hopkinton Parks and Recreation Commission Concerts on the Common series. You can see some photos from this great event over at our Scene in Hopkinton page at sceneinhopkinton.org, courtesy of Denise Antaki. Here you can see the fans are really getting into what was a great performance by Dincheck. Upcoming town government meetings include on Thursday, September 1st at 7 p.m. We'll have the school committee. And don't forget, early voting for the state primary election starts on Friday, September 2nd at 8 a.m. To view all upcoming town government meetings, head over to hcam.tv/gov. And for more details, you can always head over to hopkintonma.gov. Believe it or not, we are out of time for this edition of HCAM News. But don't worry, next Thursday at 6:30 p.m., we will be back. For everyone at HCAM, I'm Tom Nappy. As always, we thank you for watching. Take care, enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll talk to you again soon.